Everyone, David Orlando again. Today we're addressing the kind of the argument between thick clients and thin clients. This is an age-old thing between mainframe and then having desktops, and it goes back and forth. But I won't get into this historical. Overall, I prefer thin clients, and the reason being is I've managed both thick client setups and thin client setups in my career. I've managed a remote desktop infrastructure. I've also supported a VMware autoclone environment, and I'll actually post a nice little architecture of that in the chat just so you guys can look at it. But the reason being is when you have thick clients, every single person in the organization essentially has an entire operating system and usually hardware with a much shorter like life cycle, or sometimes a shorter mean time to failure for all the components involved. With thin clients, you can have diskless or even mechanical devices that have no mechanical devices at all anymore. I mean, it could be a virtual, just effectively a terminal that provides a virtual browser that you can access a desktop on the other end. Especially with newer virtual desktops that come from VMware, they create autoclones in their Horizon View, and I think they just renamed that to VMware View. I mean, you can create one operating system template that just has that one operating system that you need to keep updated as far as applications, as far as security controls, and then every autoclone desktop that somebody accesses it with a terminal inherits all that. So you've gone from trying to manage dozens or hundreds of thick client desktops to just one template operating system that everybody pulls from. A lot of these thin clients can also have, and I forget, I think there's like HP thin client manager, and they just have one image that gets passed out to every single thin client that has all the right security controls. And because that doesn't control too much of the specific settings the user uses, you have that one template and it goes out to all the thin clients. So it's almost just as easy as having the one template for the autoclone operating system as well. With thick clients, you typically have an entire help desk that has to run and maintain all of these desktops because they don't auto update as easily. They just present more risk for errors. And then with thin clients, they're a lot more streamlined. There's not a lot to mess up, not a lot to break. And with the thin client backend infrastructure, like I said, you're only just managing that one template, that one operating system, that one set of security controls. It's just a much easier authority to operate process for that. And the one downside, the one caveat to that is you have to have very good compute resources and compute resource distribution pools to keep everyone from stealing everyone else's resources. You get one person that runs up the entire CPU doing something in a software development tool, and it can really hamper the rest of operations. So you have to have good compute resources. You have to have very good hardware or hard drive bandwidth for read-write, and then the networking, you really have to have a core switch, preferably with 10 gig access and higher. The one that I worked with had a fabric interconnect that had up to 80 gig a second ports with fiber, and we used GPON. And it required that so we didn't have latency, because as soon as you have really bad latency, everybody wants a thick client again, it becomes a problem. But overall, I'd say thin clients are the way to go. But that's my video for today. I appreciate any feedback. Thanks, everyone.